have a straw. There it is. That's a straw, you see. Watching. And my straw reaches across the room and starts to drink your milkshake. I drink your milkshake.
How do we define a convincing performance in film? Convincing doesn't necessarily mean high art. If we took acting and stripped it down to its bare, classical bones, we would need to look at where it all started. Theater. Make sure you speak clearly, enunciate, use big motions to convey your feeling, and speak loud enough so that the back of the amphitheater can hear you. Now let's take a look at the first movie with sound.
From now on. You like that, Mama? Yes. I'm glad of it. I'd rather please you than anybody I know of.
Kind of reminiscent of a stage play. Now, wouldn't it be more effective to have a close-up of the woman enjoying the jazz singer's music? Show, don't tell. Fast forward a couple of years. The Bicycle Thief. Cinematic, acting, and angles. Cinema pure. And as the years progressed, film acting began to take a form of its own. I believe we're living in a film renaissance. The golden age of indie filmmaking. Accessibility to equipment where anyone could be a director and tell innovative stories. Whereas classic Hollywood told stories about the rich and the powerful. Today I want to look into two brilliant performances using uncommon acting and directing techniques. Jake Gyllenhaal in Nightcrawler and Bria Vinate in The Florida Project, while paying attention to the rules of the universe, motivations for the scene, and what exactly makes the acting uncommon. Nightcrawler is the story of Lou Bloom trying to make ends meet during an economic crisis in LA. Just in the worst ways possible. As the film progresses, we clearly see that Lou is different from the world around him simply by how he interacts. Jake Gyllenhaal plays the role distinctly, a man that isn't necessarily on the edge, but defining what it means for his character to be normal. As an audience member, we can deduce that he's hardworking and will do anything to achieve his goals, but we can't determine if he's a narcissist, sociopath, or even on the spectrum because it's not specifically said. It's up to the actor and director to come up with those specifics, and this is done by developing a show Bible, which outlines the character's history leading up to the events in the film. It's in this ambiguity that makes the character stand out, and why we're able to form an analytical discussion on why he is the way he is, which becomes extremely apparent in this monologue. The list of demands.
From here on, starting now, I want my work to be credited by the anchors and on a burn. The name of my company is Video Production News, a professional news gathering service. That's how it should be read and that's how it should be said. I also want to go to the next rung and meet your team, and the station manager and the director and the anchors, and start developing my own personal relationships. I'd like to start meeting them this morning. You'll take me around, you'll introduce me as the owner and president of Video Production News and remind them of some of my many other stories. I'm not done. I also want to stop our discussion over prices. This will save time. So when I say that a particular number is my lowest price, that's my lowest price. And you can be assured that I arrived at whatever that number is very carefully. Now, when I say that I want these things, I mean that I want them. And I don't want to have to ask again. And the last thing that I want, Nina, is for you to do the things that I ask you to do when we're alone together in your apartment. Not like the last time.
Now, if we were to put this scene on stage and show it to a classical playwright, they would say, slow down and hold on to every moment. If we look at the screenplay, Jake Gyllenhaal chooses to blow past a page and a half of dialogue at breakneck pace. On first viewing, the audience is bound to miss half of the words that are coming out of his mouth, but the words aren't as important as the delivery and the feelings that it evokes. It's a double down on Lou's intentions and how aggressive he is on reaching his goals. Urgency and untapped aggression shown later in the film, and yet the upholding of his standards of professionalism. In this breaking of the standard acting convention of steady pacing, he defines the character even further, all in one carefully crafted monologue. But what about when you have a character who has less dialogue and is constructed in a more improvisational way? Sometimes acting can feel so realistic that it teeters on the realm of improv. You see, I asked myself that on the first viewing of the Florida Project, and then on my second, and then on my third, until I finally just decided to look up the screenplay, and yep, it is all there. What makes the film so realistic are the performances. Hallie, played by Bria Vinate in particular. Keep in mind that this is Bria's first film, plucked out of the obscurity of Instagram by director Sean Baker. The script doesn't feature long, stirring monologues about love, hate, or anything of the sort, which sets a more subdued tone. And just like Nightcrawler, we don't get much exposition about the characters. All we know is that she is a caring mom that tends to lean on the side of childlike. She acts out. The only ounce of exposition we get is this.
Tell us how to respect people.
Just because they're not your rules doesn't mean anything.
No, they're the company's rules. They're the motel's rules. That's the way it is.
Fuck you
I'm a very
looking at
fair
Tina.
person. Hey, take
Yo,
it
listen,
easy. Hey,
you know
people
what?
are leaving.
You're not my fucking father.
She just wants to provide for her daughter, even if she doesn't really have the slightest clue of what the quote-unquote ethical way is of going about it. It gives the audience this feeling that we're meeting this person through a glass wall. Now, she's not trying to impress us with her philosophical rhetoric, but finding them through their actions alone. But what really drives Bria's acting into the realm of excellence is the way that she's ignoring the rule of sharing the stage. Throughout the film, she constantly tramples over other actors' lines, and many traditionalists would consider this as stealing the scene. Just take a look at this one scene.
Being very emotional right now.
You want me to help you take my child away?
I am
Are
so
you retarded? You stupid, right? You're literally asking me to help you take away my fucking kid.
This is what's best right now.
Calm down. Calm down. You want me to fucking help, right? You want me to fucking help? Fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I don't care.
The child's running. No, stay away. Towards the highway.
Hey, want to get a child running?
What's going on?
I don't know.
You let her just run away?
Hey, will you please just stay?
And I'm the one who's unfit? Fuck yeah!
Not only does she have the loudest emotion in the scene, but she jumps on top of everyone's lines. Now, the script isn't structured to promote this crosstalk like we see here in the screenplay for Lady Bird. This is done by design, by the actor and the director. And in this disobedience, we understand that Hallie is acting out of the pain that she carries from her ambiguous past. And it comes across in every single microtransaction of her beautiful performance, which I don't think you would actually get from a highly trained actor. It's this blissful ignorance that a first-time actor has that could be molded into something meaningful. A meaningful performance always starts at the screenplay, but is given purpose by the actor, which is why casting is so important. Maybe you do need a high-profile actor to display complex emotion, but like most of us, we need to cast someone based on a feeling, a connection that you find with a particular actor during an audition. If there's anything I want to say to actors, it's this. Be your genuine self in the audition room and try to connect with the director. An audition is there not only so the director can gauge your skill, but to see if you two will get along. A lot of actors are molded by the director, and in that spirit, I truly believe that there are no bad actors, only bad directors. Implementation of non-traditional acting methods begins by the feeling displayed on the page and is given meaning by the cast member. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing to be notified of the next video. If you'd like me to cover a specific movie or a specific topic, please let me know down in the comments. This video was made possible by the awesome people at Patreon. Thank you so much for watching, and see you all in the next video.